Good evening. You're watching Plain Speak with me, Poonam Burde. Guarantees was a buzzword for the Congress in many state elections. Those pre-poll guarantees were credited for their win in Himachal Pradesh, in Telangana and in Karnataka. But all of these three states now seem to be plunging into financial crisis by the admission of their own chief ministers. All three states presented their budget in the last 1 week or so, with Himachal Pradesh being the latest one today. And this time, the buzzword for all three states seems to be financial crunch. Last week, Telangana Chief Minister Revanth Reddy announced a delay in the payment of salaries to Asha and Anganwadi workers. He even gave a veiled threat, at least that's what many saw it to be, to government employees. Revanth Reddy said that if they do not cooperate with the government, the financial crisis would worsen and salary disbursement would be further affected. He also then went on to say that DA, which is the right of an employee, of a government employee, and they are rightfully asking for what's theirs, but given the situation in the state financially, maybe they should not insist on it. Today, the Himachal Pradesh budget came out. Chief Minister Sukhwinder Singh Sukhu stressed on the need for a self-reliant state while addressing the state's financial challenges. Now in Karnataka, the state's liabilities are up by at least 15%, again as presented in the state's budget. The government is forced to borrow more to fund guarantees and infrastructure projects. So why is it that these states are struggling to balance their books? All three Congress-ruled states seem to now blame their predecessors. But were they not cognizant of the fact that there was debt that the state was staring at when they promised their constituents of these guarantees? Many of these guarantees are now seeing delayed payouts, especially in Himachal and in Karnataka. We'll delve a bit deeper into that, but first let's get you some facts as far as Telangana is concerned. As far as the Chief Minister Revanth Reddy's statement, in the total debt that the state currently faces stands at about 6.6 lakh crore rupees. It faces outstanding liabilities of about 4.42 lakh crore with a net interest payment of a little over 17,000 crore rupees. The financial crunch has not been limited to just that one state, like I pointed out. There's a recurring pattern that we're seeing. In Himachal Pradesh, the outstanding liabilities stand at about 44% of the GSDP. That stands at about 94,000 crore rupees. The net interest payment that the state has to pay is a little over 5,000 crore rupees. In fact, Himachal Pradesh Chief Minister Sukhwinder Singh Sukhu in his budget today claimed that 70% of borrowed loans are being used to repay this particular debt. And in the wake of the spiraling financial crisis, the government even announced a hike in daily necessities like prices of milk. Now in Karnataka, the outstanding liabilities stand at about 22.7% of GSDP, or about a little less than 6 lakh crore rupees. The net interest payment as far as the state of Karnataka goes, it's a little over 33,800 crore rupees. So there is a lot of debt that all of these three states seem to be staring at. Are guarantees to blame for the financial crisis that these states have, or is it something else? But this pattern is being seen at least in these three Congress-ruled states, and their political rivals are seeing this as a failure of their guarantees. Is that the only guarantee for the taxpayer of these three states? Fiscal failure? That's what we ask on Plain Speak.
అందుకే దయచేసి మా ప్రభుత్వ ఉద్యోగులకి ప్రభుత్వం మీది అన్ని లెక్కలు మీ ముందరనే పెడతా. ఏది ఎట్లా పంచుదామో చెప్పండి, ఏది ఆపుదాం, ఏది పంచుదాం.
They are utterly failing in managing the budget of the state. When BRS was in power, state was healthy financially.
It shows that the Khatakat model makes big guarantee promises but does not deliver. It runs the state into bankruptcy. The priority is only corruption.
The past government has made so many loans getting state into the debt ridden. Not only that, there are pending bills for the contractors, education institutes for the free education.
अपनी अर्थव्यवस्था को मजबूती देनी है। हमारी आर्थिक स्थिति ठीक ना होने के कारण फिस्कल प्रूडेंस, फिस्कल डिसिप्लिन लाकर मैंने इस बजट को बनाया है।
Let's open this up. Radhika Khera, spokesperson of the BJP, is with us. Deepak Timaya, spokesperson of the Congress, and author Anand Ranganathan is with us. So let me begin by asking you, Deepak Timaya, why is it that we're seeing this kind of recurring theme across at least 3 different Congress states, Himachal Pradesh, Telangana and Karnataka? All of them seem to be staring at a mountain of debt. A lot of your guarantees remain unfulfilled in all of these 3 states because there is no money for it.
First of all, I would like to ask this very simple question that what exactly is the job of a government? Is it to just, build infrastructure or to also do something for the people? If something is being done for the people, I don't understand why the opposition is getting so agitated about it, because is it that even the BJP is benefiting, that in Karnataka that the guarantees are being given out to the BJP workers, even the supporters of BJP, also JDS and everybody. And this is about upliftment of the people and financially empowering them. And this should have been done a long time ago, because the government is trying to bring about a semblance of economic stability, in the sense people also feel like, they have some support from the government, and it's their money after all. It is not, somebody else's money. It is not somebody's, family money or parental money or some inheritance or whatever. And this is the people's money. And I think the government has a responsibility to do something for the people. And in the process, if the government is even struggling to put things together, I think everybody should support it, because I don't think that the BJP is so antisocial that it doesn't want anything.
Salaries have been, we haven't been able to pay salaries on the 1st of every month because there isn't enough money. Revanth Reddy is not a BJP chief minister, but he seems to be admitting to all of this, which means there is an issue.
I'm sure that, Mr. Revanth Reddy has his own reasons to be speaking like that. He's the chief minister after all. And he
so if the chief minister admits, and another chief minister of the Congress, Mr. Sukhwinder Singh Sudhu of Himachal Pradesh, who says that there is a financial crisis.
No, he is not.
Then why just blame your political rivals? It is a fact. If your chief ministers on record say that there is a financial crunch, that the state owes XYZ amount of money to the center, we have about 70% of borrowings that we need to pay off. Why is it about what your political rivals say? It's a fact that the chief minister of the Congress has put out.
Running the state is just a responsibility of the state government. I would like to ask you this question, Ms. Poonam, because
isn't that why a particular party was voted to power?
The center is also benefiting from the GST and so many other things, and the center also prides over, prides on, the kind of things that's doing for the country and the way it is uplifting the country and take it to a different dimension altogether. I think that this is also a message being sent to the central government to say that you also have a responsibility. Please give some money so we can run the state better. Is that something wrong? I'm sure even the BJP chief minister should be asking this question. In the sense that just because
but why should anybody else be helping out a party which is now in governance in a state to fulfill promises that they made as a party to the people, which is why they were voted for?
Please, are you trying to say that you people?
Why should the taxpayer have to pay more money because they believed in promises that were made by the Congress before elections?
There are clever people here too. I'm sure that they also can understand that doing something for the people, if at all it's difficult, we should all get together and make it easier. In the sense, perhaps the central government has to step forward and say that, we'll ensure that, your guarantees can be implemented more successfully because it's for the people. And tomorrow, if the BJP benefits, BJP has not taken these.
So the Congress may have made promises, Anand Ranganathan, but the burden is for everyone to take. The load should be taken by everybody, because why not?
This is not done by the BJP, it's the Karnataka government.
The Congress party in its pre-election campaign promised this. The Karnataka government didn't. It was a Congress party that made these promises based on which they won that state.
But the Congress party was able to form the government.
But Anand Ranganathan, go ahead.
Yeah, good evening, Poonam, and good evening, my fellow panelists. Let me remind the good Mr. Deepak as to this statement made by very erudite and intellectual and a statesman leader. Paisa ped pe nahi ugta hai. Money does not grow on trees. If I'm not mistaken, this wasn't a BJP prime minister or chief minister. In fact, let me remind everyone that it was Dr. Manmohan Singh. And he had to say this because everyone was up in arms when he raised the diesel prices. Now, the fact of the matter is, everyone, I am for a welfare state. As Mr. Deepak is rightfully saying, the country should be run for the people. All the money that we are earning is for the benefit of Indians. It's so that their GDP per capita increases. Nobody wants a 50,000 USD GDP per capita of a gated community, while the rest of India is wallowing in 2,500 GDP. Nobody wants an island of prosperity in an ocean of despair. But you have to realize that a capitalist economy is only possible in a capitalist state. You need to generate the money in order to distribute it. The fact of the matter is, we have made zero reforms, cutting across party lines, cutting across decades of other governments, and yet at the same time we keep on doling these freebies. Now let me give you 3 examples. It wasn't the term Revdi, Poonam, you would remember, it wasn't the one coined by Narendra Modi, even though he used it. It was coined by, surprise, Dr. Montague Singh Ahluwalia. He said the biggest freebie has just been doled out by a Congress state. Now, which state was he talking about? He was talking about Himachal Pradesh, because in 2005, if you remember, it was Dr. Manmohan Singh and Dr. Montague Singh Ahluwalia said, we cannot afford, this country will go bankrupt if it goes on doing the OPS. We have to come out with a new pension system, which is what they did. But in 2022, another celebrated economist, yes, Rahul Gandhi, he went to Himachal and he said, guys, if you vote for me, I will junk the policy brought in by my own government. I will revert to OPS, and he did. And as a result, right now, 77% of Himachal Pradesh's tax revenue is being going in propping up the old pension system. The RBI governor warned that the reason for inflation is this freebie. Everyone, Dr. Monte, but nobody listened. Did you know that, leave alone Telangana, Poonam, the combined state debt is now more than 80 lakh crores. We are not America. We cannot run up a debt of $38 trillion and not care about it. They can print money, we can't. There is no such thing as free lunch. Somebody has to pay for it. And the fact of the matter is, we are looking at becoming another junk state or going back to 1990, when our foreign exchange reserves that are $700 billion today dwindled down to $3 billion. We had to mortgage 67 tons of our gold. And we had to learn our lessons through the painful, hard way. We haven't learned our lessons still. The fact of the matter is, can you please tell me why, Mr. Deepak, that we keep on doling out the old pension scheme, we keep on giving the minimum support price, we keep on doing the exact same measures of these freebies that are going to run this country dry, bankrupt? Are you not bothered about it? I care for...
But this is welfareism that all parties seem to now be indulging in, because it's great politics. It may not be great economics, but it's great politics. And it's been reaping benefits not just for the Congress party, but even for the BJP, as we've seen in the recent past. But sure, but let me get in Ms. Khera as well. Radhika Khera, it's a load for everyone to share, says the Congress party. The centre is not helping us out. That's what a lot of southern states, including Karnataka, have been saying, that we don't get the share that we should out of tax devolution. We don't have the funds because the centre is meting out a stepmotherly treatment towards us, which is why we don't get enough money.
Surprisingly, the centre only has a problem with Congress-led governments and their alliance partners of the India Alliance, where if you see Omar Abdullah Sahab, he has gone on to say that the centre is collaborating with him and giving him the support that he needs. And we saw the same kind of reasoning being given by Mr. Arvind Kejriwal. Mujhe sarkar kaam nahi karne deti, karne deti. Well, then why are you even contesting if you already know the centre is not going to help you? I think that is just a way ki wo angur khatte hai, naach na jane, aangan tera. There's so many of them that I can quote over here. But having said that, the Congress spokesperson was talking about we should have empowered people by now. All this should have been done. Bhai Sahab, you were in government for 54 years. You should have done all that. Why was the need? Why today is there a need to be giving freebies to people? Sir, I did not speak in between. Have the courtesy to listen to me. Okay, the country is not listening to you, so have the courtesy to listen to me. Now, the Congress governments, whether in Karnataka or Telangana, are facing a self-created financial disaster, and the biggest reason is their corruption, directionless, and irresponsible governance. They are not only just mismanaging their funds, but they have also squandered public money on their appeasement politics. And you see, they are coming out with schemes only for a certain section or a certain religious group. They are not doing it for everyone. So it is very clear that this is just political appeasement that they're giving out their freebies on. And they are not, you can't just call it bad governance also. It's daylight robbery of public money. They are using their states where they're in power as ATMs to fulfill the banks of the Gandhi family back home, and that is a fact. We all know when there was government in Chhattisgarh and Rajasthan, how money was being sent continuously for Bharat Jodo Nyaya Yatra, for making their office. Well, who paid for over 300 crores for the new Congress office to be built? Money went from here. And you've seen how the Himachal coffers have run dry. Telangana has no money to pay its government employees. Karnataka, you have 60% corruption. A party which came into power saying, "Arey, corruption hai Karnataka mein." Just see, they're charging 60%. Official corruption is going on. And also, when you're talking about all these things, let me also remind the Congress spokesperson of their own national president, Mr. Kharge Sahab. What did he say? That we should make promises after looking at our own pockets. Clearly bola ki bhai sahab pair utne hi philaiye jitni lambi chadar hai. But what did they do in Delhi? They came up with another set of promises. What did they do in Haryana after that? They came up with another set of promises. And the people are giving them a reply by giving them a zero duck in every election. They're not even able to win the panchayat elections, let alone winning a state. Exactly why? Because the hollow promises, the drama, and all this. And when you're talking about giving the money, the haq hai, empowering people, why is it only about empowering Muslim girls in Karnataka for their safety, or Muslim
Sure, but as far as these guarantees go in all these states, these guarantees are not specifically targeted at one particular community. They were targeted at all women. They were targeted at all youth, all school children. But Anand Ranganathan, quick rebuttal before I get in Mr. Thimaya as well.
Yeah, no, thank you, Poonam, for saying what needed to be said. Let me substantiate your point with a few examples. Not a single freebie that has been given by any other party other than the BJP is not being replicated or being doubled by the BJP. Let me give you an example. Now, when Rahul Gandhi said that we need an MSP guarantee on every crop, the BJP rightly mocked it, said it's going to cost the exchequer 16 to 20 lakh crores every year. We can't afford it. But then came Haryana election and BJP promised exactly the same for every Haryana farmer. Everything. What happened? BJP won. BJP rightly mocked Rahul Gandhi when he said Khatakat scheme, let's give 1 lakh rupees to every eligible woman. Rightly so, because it's going to empty the exchequer. But then came Maharashtra election. What did BJP do? BJP not only promised it, they implemented it. 1,500 rupees per month to every eligible woman between 21 to 60, they're costing the exchequer 50,000 crores. In fact, right now, more than Telangana, it is the BJP ministers in Maharashtra who are saying we don't have salaries to pay because this Ladli scheme is bankrupting us. Maharashtra has a debt of 8 lakh crores. Poonam, you rightly said it. Every party is culpable. Problem is not just BJP or Congress or TMC. We are going down the barrel. We are going
absolutely.
Into an
and speaking of Maharashtra, absolutely. And speaking of Maharashtra, we just had the state budget that came out last week. The state's budget is about 7 lakh crore rupees. The state's estimated debt is 9.3 lakh crore rupees. The difference is there. The same goes, Radhika Khera, for Madhya Pradesh also. There's increasing debt in Madhya Pradesh, and that's where this payout to women actually began from.
Obviously, when there are populist schemes, but you have to understand that populist schemes don't always generate revenue. You have to make up things to generate revenue, infrastructure, and there have to be policies because investments are drying up. But what are the Congress ruled states doing to bring in the investments? The companies and the big industries that were going to be set up in Karnataka are all going away from there. They don't want to work in Karnataka. They don't want to work in Telangana. In states where even journalists are arrested for raising their voice, people are not wanting to work over there. If you see example of West Bengal, we saw how Mamata Banerjee chased away everyone, the big industrialists and all. But in Maharashtra and Madhya Pradesh, we are bringing up new avenues for new investment. And even in Maharashtra, new investments are coming up. There's going to be more money.
Sure, but can you deny that the same problem that other Congress-ruled states have because of these guarantees, these two states are also facing exactly that? Madhya Pradesh has recently sought more borrowing. In Maharashtra, where the budget was recently presented, where the hope was that the payout will be increased as promised pre-election, that hasn't happened yet. The Ladki Bahut scheme has stayed, but the payout hasn't increased.
Like I said, the previous government in Maharashtra, that we just had the government for half the time. The half time that Uddhav Thackeray was the chief minister, he ran the coffers dry. We saw how much corruption there was.
But that's not what you said on campaign trail when you said that we'll increase the payout from 1,500 to 2,100. You didn't say it came with caveats back then.
Poonam, it's very easy to spend the money and it's very difficult to earn it back. It takes a second to spend $1 million and it takes years to make that $1 million back. And that's a fact. So the amount of money that was spent in these schemes and the corruption and filling up the party offices, was looted, the money of the people was looted, and now the government, that now we have a full government, a proper government, which is not going to be made a chori ki government. So we are bringing in new industries and new policies. People were not ready to invest because there was so much of political upheaval happening in Maharashtra. Now, where Madhya Pradesh is concerned, there are some issues that are happening, but we are working on that. Like I said, we are bringing in more investment. Now we are going to be, now, for example, let's talk about the Kumbh in Uttar Pradesh. When the money was spent on the Kumbh, there was so much hoo-halla that, oh, this is going to run the coffers dry. But see the amount of money that we have generated with the Kumbh. The amount of money, the amount of income that has been generated, which is going to benefit the state. But every time the Bharatiya Janata Party
BJP is doing all things right as far as raising money is concerned, Deepak Timaya, but the Congress is not. That's the allegation that the BJP makes. That companies don't want to pick Congress ruled states as for their factories or for their industrial units.
First of all, let me what do you say, thank Mr. Anand Ranganathan. For a moment, I thought he was a BJP spokesperson calling himself an author. But when he started talking about realistic things, I really wanted to admire that at least there were voices within the ranks of the Hindutva brigade who can also speak these things.
Because the facts are facts. It's interesting that all political parties think that what the other does is a problem, but what we do is kosher. But Deepak Timaya, go ahead.
Let me tell you, Ms. Khera was talking about, the BJP chief minister is not complaining. BJP chief ministers are not
Don't misquote me, sir. Don't misquote me, sir. Use your own words. That's the problem with the Congress party. You're just misquoting me. When did I say what did you say? Don't misquote me and don't put in words that I didn't use.
What did you say? What did you say?
You should know. You were listening and watching.
Okay, Deepak Timaya, so there are issues. Let's not digress. We don't have enough time left on this. But Deepak Timaya,
let me tell you a very simple thing. The BJP chief ministers themselves also have a lot of things to complain against the central government, but they don't do it for fear. So they are more happy to talk about, capital
Poonam, can I please come in for 30 seconds?
Or something else and so on. Miss Khera, I've listened to you.
Sure,
I also have something to say because we also are being, we are also running a government in a state.
Absolutely, which is why questions are being asked of the Congress party, Mr. Timaya, that the Congress is ruling these states, elected there.
The money spent in Mahakumbh was also spent by Kannadigas, I tell you, and also Telagaites and Tamilians too. It was not just spent
absolutely. It has nothing to do with one part of the country spending money or investing anywhere.
Let me tell you, you think about your sovereign gold bond, which I'm sure that Mr. Anand Ranganathan can agree, the kind of fiasco it's becoming to so many other things, the kind of money the central government is borrowing, just because there are people who just come and beat the other people down with their personal remarks against the leaders of this party. Let me tell you, you can't brush it under the carpet by saying that almost like projecting that the central government is doing all saintly things and Mr. Modi is the biggest economist.
What has that got to do with liabilities that the state faces? But Anand Ranganathan, I want you to have the last word here because I'm running short of time. As far as all political parties are concerned, it is competitive politics. And we've seen that in the recently held, consecutively held state elections. It's about who outdoes the other in terms of giving out more and then failing to deliver on it in each and every of those states.
Yes, no, my good friend Deepak ji just thanked me for saying out the facts, but I don't know whether what I'm going to say next is going to please him or not. But let me just say my two bits because it's very important. Look, as I already said, Poonam, all of us want India to progress, and that can only happen if India is a welfare state. Vaccinating 1 billion Indians twice over within a year saved millions of lives, making 110 million toilets, 100 million tap connections, 100 million Ujjwala. All those things is important. But the fact is, what is welfare? What is freebie? Now Modi is blessed in a way because the most important reforms that happened since independent India came into being were the farm reforms, was the privatization. And on both issues, it is Mr. Deepak's party that doesn't want those reforms. Unless you have those reforms, how can you generate money? You are going to keep leeching thousands, lakhs of crores of money, especially through agricultural sector, where 300 million people are employed. At the same time, it contributes only 13.5% to 14% of our GDP. The fact of the matter is, you do not have an endless tap to give you that money, but you have an endless resource by which you keep on leeching that money. And I said, Modi is blessed, because when Modi brought in those 3 farm laws that were in the manifestos of Congress, who opposed it? It was the Congress party. When Modi wanted privatization, who opposed it? It was the Congress party. So every time you want to reform to generate money, it is the Congress party and the opposition that say shackle Modi, and as a result we are back to square one. We are staring at a bottom of an abyss through which, Poonam, there is no escape. It is scary.
And given the situation where I said it's like competitive politics, it's only going to get worse from here. There is no coming back unless everyone takes a stand, and this is not the way to go forward. And I really hope better sense prevails, but I have to leave it there. I thank you all for joining us here on this edition of Plain Speak. It is time for a quick break, but on the other side, we'll get you the controversy over Aurangzeb that's brewing in Maharashtra. We'll tell you more about the latest war of words and where exactly does the government of Maharashtra stand on this.